Boom. Boom. What's up, everybody? This is the Beast, and you're watching Primal Rage. Woo! Oh, shit. We got another Masters of the Universe Revelations video for you today. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button. Well, you can like it. Well, watch the video first, then hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Don't waste any more time. Oh, it's crazy. Sarah Michelle Gellar, the voice of TEELA in Masters of the Universe Revelations, is crying hatred over the fanboys, pissing and moaning where's supposable review bombing. We're going to get into today's video right now. Oh, this is by Autostraddle. Says Sarah Michelle Gellar, gaze up, Masters of the Universe Revelation. HeMan fanboys drown in own tears. I don't think so much the fanboys. People, this is what I like about the left. They are totally clueless. It isn't the minority that hates Master of the Universe Revelation. It's the majority. And when I say minority, no, I'm not defining minority by race. I'm defining it by the group of people that they think are the majority and they're the minority. We're talking about the group of people who live in their mommy's basements. They hide under mommy's mattress whenever they make somebody angry on Twitter. They try to cancel people out. This is the minority. And she is calling us a bunch of pussies. We can't handle what they did. No, the real crying going on here is not the fans, the old fans of Master of the Universe. It's the creators of this shit show. It's this actress, this washed up, dried up old prune who used to play a weak version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Christy Swanson was way better and way hotter, by the way. But they're the ones crying because they can't handle the criticism. We're going to take a look at this. But here, for example, you know what this has in common? 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 And finally, what this all has in common? It doesn't work. Failure. Bomb at the box office. Bomb at the box office. Bomb at the box office. Shows that bomb at the ratings. Movie bomb at the box office. Bomb at the ratings. You see a pattern here, people? None of this, no matter what franchise, they pull this same bait and switch or this same stupid, whacked out female empowerment narrative. And when you try to change these bitches to look like men or a cross between a woman and a man stuck in a fucking blender, you even man up our fucking female hero. This isn't female empowerment. This isn't female empowerment. This is not female empowerment. Like you make a woman, a black woman, look like a man. Give her a man's name. It don't work. You can make these bitches look like men. Give them haircuts and everything. It don't work. It don't work. You make TEELA look like a fucking man. You can make Kristen Stewart look like a fucking man. You can make this woman look like a man. Give him a man's name. You can make Rey the central part and kick Luke Skywalker in the nuts. You can make the Terminator chicks look like men. And you can put a couple of washed up comedian bitches to replace the better Ghostbusters. And it don't work. It does not work. But it's the fans that are at fault. It's not what they did to these franchises that is a complete disaster. It's failing to acknowledge putting these narratives in play, nobody wants the preaching. Nobody wants the politics. This whole anti-white male, straight white male narrative it's gone. It doesn't work. It doesn't make the money. It says, like so many sailors who crash their ships against the boulders at seas at the sound of sirens, and the children who followed trails of candy into haunted woods, like the moth to the flame prophet Janet Jackson heralded, I too am propelled along invisible force. No matter the time, the day, the season, the obligations before me, I hear the distance, the sound of fanboy tears. I follow them to the edges of the earth and call my prize. Claim my prize. Sorry. I'm just excited right now. Oh, there was always a prize that they sob in a heap. Our childhoods, our masculinity, virtue signaling, while review bombing whatever is before them. It's not review bombing, old lady. It is what is called criticism. You don't put this shit out here. You don't put a picture like this out there to not get a response. They put this out there to get a response. You market this whole franchise on a lie. HeMan was the main character of Master of the Universe. The title was HeMan and the Masters of the Universe. And fanboys are crying. Look what they did to TEELA, Sarah. Are you going to go out there? Are you going to jack up on the juice? Are you going to get giant fucking John Cena arms? You going to get your head shaved, get a boy chop, maybe look like the one in the middle? Or you got to look like the one in the end? No, nobody wants that. If you took Buffy the Vampire Slayer, started a new series, and then chop your hair to look like a man, take all the testosterone to look like a man, you totally defeat the purpose. You can't, it's unfair to say that men hate female leads, especially now you're turning the women into looking like men. I mean, am I wrong? Am I looking at this wrong? Well, this one here, but she's just angry. Look like a boy woman. A fucking boy woman. Fucking boy women. She says, and what is before them? Women, of course. Really? Are you sure? You sure? I see one that could be a long-haired boy. Because we got two looking female boys right here. We got another boy. We got another boy here hanging out with two chicks. We got another boy with a boy's name. She says, women with armor, with lasers and daggers and swagger and shaved heads and manly muscles. They look like men. This does not look like a woman. It looks like a man. It's a man. Look, if you really want to showcase your personal politics, I challenge Hollywood to come up with your own characters, your own shows, your own storylines, and your own franchises, and push as much politics as you want. And let's see where it goes. It's going to go into the landfill. She says, women piloting the very spaceships that line the walls of their boyhood boys-only clubhouses. Women busting ghosts, women overpowering big bads who destroyed cities under the watch of superheroic men, women with other women, and not a man in sight. Yeah. How did... let me ask you something, people. How did that work in 2016 with Ghostbusters? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, it bombed. It bombed. Not only that, but you have one of the original Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd was shredding Paul Feig about Ghostbusters 2016. He tried it. What about Terminator Dark Fate, where you bait and switch, where you kill off Eddie Furlong, John Connor? The whole premise for Terminator is destroyed 5 minutes into the fucking movie. They make the original Terminator a guy who's raising a family. His name is Carl. And then his replacement Terminator is a woman who they made out to look like, I don't know, Elliot Page, Justin Bieber hair. Did they have to do this to these women? Why couldn't the woman Terminator be like the TX, the Terminatrix, in Terminator 3, like Kristanna Loken? I think she was one of the scariest Terminators, to be honest. This didn't even make any sense. They totally replaced John Connor with this little Spanish girl who's not going to replace Sarah Connor, but to replace John Connor. The whole narrative to the franchise is totally gone. They ruined it with this movie. So replacing the men with women did not work for this movie either. And what eventually happened with Star Wars? It went in the toilet. You know, you could have made Rey a likable character. They made her very unrealistic. It makes no sense. And they destroyed the character that everybody loved, Luke Skywalker. And this was the replacement. A bait and switch. Kill everybody's favorite Star Wars Jedi and replace it with this hollow shell. Or what about this? Yeah, let's forget Star Trek the way we liked it. We had a woman in charge. We had Star Trek Voyager. Half her fucking crew was women. And I love that show. I love that show. But no, not good enough. Now you got to have a woman in color in the show as the lead. Okay. But why do you have to push politics? So you gave her a man's name, you cut her hair like a man, and put one of the most annoying fucking actresses in the part. They couldn't have killed her off in The Walking Dead any sooner, as far as I'm concerned. And now Star Trek is in the toilet. It's gone. Here, Charlie's Angels. They even tried to reboot a reboot. And they got these, well, two of these women look pretty hot. They got Kristen Stewart all guyed up. Fucking these little skanky class broads, I'm supposed to believe, can beat up 250-pound Russian KGB agents. Physical hit. They do the most unbelievable shit in this fucking movie. And this movie bombed. You replace hot women. I mean, we had Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz. These babes were fucking hot in the early 2000s. And their Charlie's Angels movies may not be the best, but they're fun to watch. And the women are sexy. And they're just doing sexy, fun, funny, adventure, action stuff. You know? This year they take a more serious stance to it of an action film, and they just have these bitches doing unbelievable shit. And it failed, of course. And now they carried this over, marketed under the perception that HeMan, this is a continuation. But it's not a continuation. Lying to the fans. You don't get the next generation fans if you don't have the original generation fans on board. If you don't get us, you're not going to get them. That's not how it works. She says, last week I followed the sweet sound of fanboy weeping and discovered treasure beyond my wildest imagination. Netflix's HeMan reboot. Called it, people. This comes out of the horse's mouth. I mean Gellar's mouth. Master Universe Revelation, the latest offering on the streamer's 80s nostalgia altar. It's a reboot. She just said it's a reboot. I've been saying it's a reboot. We all been saying it's a reboot. It is not a continuation. When you change the race of characters or change the gender of characters or whatever, it's no longer, you can no longer be a continuation or canon to the existing product. This is all on its own. And it was horrible. It looks like the original He-Man, and it sounds just like the original He-Man and cast of characters, the same as the original He-Man, but this is not, and it's coming out of the horse's mouth. This is not original He-Man. But that's what they market it as. That is what Kevin Smith said it was, even though we knew better. For starters, it's almost not even about He-Man at all. That's what we were saying. And Kevin Smith, you really think fucking Mattel would fucking pay me all that money to make a fucking He-Man cartoon without fucking He-Man? I don't know. Wasn't there. But you lied, Kevin. You lied. And I think it's what the He-Man fans, Master Universe fans, are so pissed about. Is that we got lied to. You know, you wanted to trick us into watching this fucking shit show. And Clownfish stated right off the bat, this was going to be TEELA's journey. Nobody had a problem if it was going to be TEELA's journey. But why don't you advertise that and market it to that, to sell it the way it is? Instead, you sold us something by lying about it. And it didn't work. It didn't work. And why can't TEELA look like TEELA? Oh. It says, for starters, okay, without spoiling too much, Prince Adam and He-Man get taken out of commission. And this is coming out of the horse's mouth. At the end of the first episode, Revelation, and the entire show becomes about TEELA. That's what we were saying, Sarah. This camel has had her head in the sand the entire time. Who ditches the crown and tied up due for an asymmetrical trim with an undercut, and her job as captain of the Greyskull guard gig as a mercenary alongside her gal pal Andra. They don't say they have a thing with each other, but I'm also not sure if you even have to say the thing is a thing anymore. There's obviously something going on with them, obviously. They're adventure companions who can't keep their eyes and hands off of each other. TEELA's not the only ones who's got fanboys weeping. Andra is obviously no longer Lieutenant Andra, and she's now a badass black woman. A tokenized Andra. That's what Sarah, I think, means to say. Just like we got a token King Greyskull. And the first King Greyskull, the castle was named after original He-Man, is a badass black warrior. Over a black nerd problems points, I guess that's a website or something, points out what a big deal that is, and how it too caused a riot with self-righteous and self-appointed gatekeepers of the culture. I would say of the culture. But you have a black guy who is a fan of Master of the Universe, doesn't like that they changed the race of King Greyskull. He likes his King Greyskull the way the original King Greyskull was. So what is the whole point if you're not politicizing it then? The whole thing is a political shit show. Where are we at here? Let me see here. Down to... Oh, yeah, it says, Revelation still captures the sword and sorcery and anime sensibility of the original series without the misogyny and racism that defines so much of He-Man's original TV action figure and comic book outing. Wow. Wow. She knows so much about something that she knows nothing about. This bitch never watched or was never a fan of the original Masters of the Universe. People, that's what I said in the yesterday's video. The people making these movies, making these comics, Ghostbusters or Terminator or Star Trek or Star Wars or Charlie's Angels or even now Masters of the Universe or drawing Superman comics or Marvel comics, they're not fans of these products. They're political activists, nothing more. And they're using these platforms to destroy patriotism, to destroy the prowess of masculinity that has heightened these shows, these movies, these cartoons. They call it toxic. All the shit that they're doing to these brands, one at a time, is toxic. There was nothing racist about Master of the Year. That's like asinine saying that the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special was racist. They made Franklin sit in a table in a corner by himself in a rickety chair. Would you rather they not invited Franklin? If you want to see real abuse in Charlie Brown, look how Charlie Brown's treated in his show. Constantly hackled by the Peanuts gang in his own show. They call him blockhead. They bully Charlie Brown around. Charlie Brown is the victim in the Charlie Brown cartoon. And if you're going to make Master of the Universe He-Man cartoons, then He-Man better be the fucking star of the show and not there for the flashbacks. But they bait and switch. And now this is in the toilet. I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. I don't know what lies for the future of Master of the Universe Revelations. At this point, I think the majority of us have already moved on. And that's pretty much where it is. She's obviously has her head up her ass. I don't know what Master of the Universe she's talking about with the misogyny and racism. But it ain't the stuff we grew up with. She has no respect for the fans, for the franchise, just shooting her mouth off. And I don't know, man. I think Mattel really screwed up hiring these people to cover this franchise. Anyway, people, that's the video. Let me know what you think. You want to be kept up on pop culture and what SJWs are doing, then get it from none else than the Beast. The one that SJWs fucking hate. The one that Twitter hates. Get it from this guy. Be safe, stay safe, and get your goddamn rage on. Good night. Woo!